What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first ever episode of Jones and Gems, the series where we talk about real life stuff, Shop Titan stuff, whatever questions you may have. So if you do have any questions, please either just comment on these videos or post it in the Hey Rob Mod section of our Discord, and you may just get chosen for your question to be answered in a future episode. So without further ado, let's go. Areolas. Good name. Areolas says, "Hey Rob Mods, when will you start the Jones and Gems series?" Right now. I thought it was fitting to start this series with a double legendary bear, so there you go. I hope these sell during the video. If not, it doesn't really matter, but that would be awesome. Dirty G says, "Join Band of Bros. My name is Bup." Cool, bro. We're gonna try to find Band of Bros. Guys, we have officially found Band of Bros. His name is Bup. We have found Bup. Do we join him? Unfortunately, my friend, we do not, but nice shop regardless. Skivlaria says, "What seeds for Polonia? I understand attack seeds for all, but not Polonia." All right, let's bring up our Polonia spreadsheets and let me show you how much it matters. Okay, so I know this is a lot of information, but this is the Polonia spreadsheets that we use to figure out what quests you should be doing, what the survival rate is for everyone, etc. So we've got Polonia here with 3 tricksters. Here's running the numbers for Sunken Temple Easy. So as you can see, the survival rates here is 98% for Polonia, 98.2, 99.97, 99.97, and 99.79. So those are our survival rates for this. Minimum number of rounds is 16 and 100% quest success rate. So let's see how much this is going to change. As you can see, our Polonia attack value is 5572. So that's with 40 seeds. If you don't have 40 seeds, you have 160 less attack. So 40 seeds times 4 per seed, so 160 less. So if we go to hero data, we find our Polonia. It says 5572 right there. So instead of 5572 for attack, we're going to be going down to 5412. So that's what my attack would be without any seeds. And if we go back to our quest simulator and we reset the numbers, it changes by 0.03%, same number of rounds, same success, exact same numbers for 2 heroes, and 0.04% for the other hero. So my question is, does it matter? This next question is from Big Boy Met EO. I don't know who EO is, but this guy got to meet him. He says, "Hey Rob Mods, have you considered continuing the My Shop series where you take a look through player shops and do short evaluations with tips for the possible future of their shop?" So My Shop was a series that we did like 11 or 12 episodes, something like that, back when I first started making videos over a year ago. And so it was a really enjoyable series. Basically, I set a time with people to meet up through Discord, and I recorded their game screen and their audio, and then we talked through their shop and what was going on, what they had a challenge with, all that kind of stuff. And it was a really enjoyable series. We had a lot of fun, but it was incredibly challenging. It was the most time consuming out of every series that I did, simply because I had to figure out a time that would work for both of us and then record the whole thing. But there was a whole bunch of tech issues with their screen. If either of our internets weren't great, there was just a whole lot of lag and terrible quality. Often their audio was way quieter than mine because I was trying to record both of ours, and it ended up being so many hours of work. And at that time, I was making guides, I was making gameplay videos, I was trying to stream, and I was making My Shop videos. And by a long shot, the least viewed series was My Shop. Or Your Shop. It was called Your Shop, not My Shop. And so through that, basically, I just stopped making the series because of how much work it was, how many issues we were having with tech, and because it just seemed like there was no interest in the series at all. It's definitely something I would love to do in the future, but just because of the issues that I was having and how difficult it was, I just decided to stop making them. I can confidently say that there's not a big push for me to do that anytime soon. All right, we have 2 similar questions here. We've got Nicholas and Wolverino. Wolverino 79. They're both asking about restarting the game. Kabam is pretty vigilant on multiple accounts. And do purchase workers continue after you've restarted the game? So let me just be super clear on this. I put it in my descriptions on most videos that have included other accounts. But I am part of the content creator program with Kabam. I have special permission to have multiple accounts for the sole purpose of creating content. That's the only reason. Having multiple accounts is against terms of service. So I have to discourage you from having multiple accounts and also specify that I am allowed to do it with permission. With that being said, many people have also asked me the question, how do I restart? Every time I restart, my account's still there. What do I do? Whatever. So your account is connected to your device ID on Kabam's end. So even if you uninstall the game, clear all of your data, everything, and you restart, your account is still going to show up because it's not on your end, it's on their end. So unless Kabam goes into their back end and removes that device ID from your account, which they're not going to do because you're not supposed to have multiple accounts anyways, you will not be able to play a different account on that specific device. So if you purchase workers, that worker is specifically tied to the device that you are playing on, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do about that. If you try to restart, whether it be playing on a different Steam account or playing on a different device, playing on a tablet instead of a phone, you will be starting from ground zero with no way of transferring over anything that you've paid for. That's the way that they've designed it. It's the way that they want it to be so that people are not playing multiple accounts and able to mess with the market, sell gems, because this was a big issue before. So this is their way of basically protecting the game from people that are attempting to use multiple accounts for not the right reasons. Okay, so this question is from Cornea. He loves eyes. It's a pretty long one, but basically he's asking, what is the best way to fill collection book being free to play? Do you fuse? Do you craft? What should you be doing? And I messed with this quite a bit as I was trying to fill collection book and doing all of the epics, which I just completed every single epic. And so I think there's a couple schools of thought for this. One, you could just pick 4 items from your different resource types, craft them like crazy, and let's say you get like 4 blues and 5 greens. You turn the greens into a blue, and then you turn that into a purple, and then you know what I mean? Like you can just go from superior to flawless to epic to legendary very slowly over time. But all of the fusions take up your crafting slots, and it costs a lot of money for the moonstones. It's going to take forever to get that many as soon as you get past like tier 3 or tier 4. I think in the end, it just becomes such a hassle. When you get up to tier 9, you're taking hours and hours of your crafting slots and not really making that much headway. And if your legendary fails, then you're kind of back to square one, and you just used so much time, so much energy trying to get this one rare item that you could have just bought from the market for 30 gems or something. In my opinion, it's better to just find a really solid crafting rotation that works for you, that makes sense in your situation with how much resources you have, where your ascensions are at, all that kind of stuff, and just craft that consistently, make a ton of gold, and use that gold either to make gems or whatever, and then just buy the items that you want for collection log. I think that makes a whole lot more sense than saying, okay, now I'm going to do all the tier 4s and trying to fuse them and having failed fusions and spending millions of gold on moonstones with no guarantee of actually getting the legendary that you want. Whereas maybe you have a solid crafting rotation, you craft a legendary every once in a while, you sell that for a couple hundred gems, and then you can go buy 3, 4, 5 legendary tier 4s with that. And I think that's going to be more beneficial than trying to fuse everything yourself. And I think as long as you're able to make a consistent amount of gold or gems from your own crafting in shop, you shouldn't have to worry about doing everything yourself. I think it just slows you down in the end. And our final question is Liam U says, hey Rob Mods, what happens if I buy a gun crossbow blueprint from KC, but I don't have the worker unlocked? Will I still be able to craft them? Great question. So the antique shop comes around during King's Caprice. You have these coins that you're able to buy old blueprints that are from packs or ones that you don't have that are at least 6 months old. So nothing will show up in this Caprice shop unless it was released into the game over 6 months ago. There's any type of blueprint in here. It can be anything in the game, or obviously outfits or decor for your shop or whatever. So this was actually an issue a while ago, and it was a bug in the game that like a wand would show up when you hadn't paid for the wand worker. So this is now changed. It's no longer in the game. So if you don't have the specific worker to craft a gun or a crossbow or a wand, none of those types of items will show up in the King's Caprice shop unless you've already purchased the worker. So don't worry about that. Let's say you press reroll roll and you've got 4 fresh items that come up, nothing that you cannot craft will show up in this menu. That was something that was changed and fixed, so we should that should not happen to you. So anyway, that's it for this time. Thank you for watching Jones and Gems. Again, if you have questions, feel free to comment here or post in the Hey Rob Mods section of our Discord channel, link below, and hopefully you will get chosen for next time. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Also, those 2 legendaries from the beginning just sold, which is amazing.